I was a foster kid, was removed from my home when I was about 3 months old. I was removed because of abuse and neglect. And I was in foster care probably for about 6 months. And then I was placed back with my biological family. And then I was removed shortly thereafter and adopted out shortly before my 3rd birthday. I got into foster care obviously because it had a very important meaning to me. Being a foster care kid, just growing up and knowing that I felt like I was a little bit different, that I kind of didn't belong in my family, even though they loved me and they chose me. It's just a little bit different than when you see biological kids in a family. So I knew from an early age that I wanted to be able to kind of give that back to other kids that were hurting. And boy, when God puts you on a path, He just puts everything right where you need it. They were doing a series called Scars. And as you can imagine, as a foster care kid, it comes with a lot of scars. And for the first time, I felt like God was really speaking to me, that He was going to use this as a purpose for my life, even though I had no idea what journey this was going to take us on. When we found out these boys really had nowhere else to go, we really just had to look into our hearts and be like, what is God's plan for us here? What was meant to be? And there was a couple, we had gotten involved in Family Finding, which was a new program through Christian Heritage. And Family Finding basically was reaching out to any biological family members that would be interested in taking placement. And at one of these meetings, there was a couple that had shown up, not related to the boys. It was a family member that had brought them. And when we met this couple, we just felt just kind of ill in our stomachs. We just knew that this wasn't right. This is not what God had intended for these boys. And when we found out that this couple wanted to adopt them, we just suddenly felt like, he can't have them. They can't have our kids. At that point, we just knew that they were meant to be a part of our family. And all this time, I kept saying, no, we're not going to adopt. And God said, yes, you are. And from that very meeting, we told them, we said, they're going to be ours. We're going to adopt them. It's been an amazing journey. And through all of that, I kept thinking, we're going to heal these kids. We're going to help these kids. We're going to love up on these kids, and we're going to save them. And really, they saved me.
So someone that we knew ended up adopting him when he was a little boy, and shortly after we started noticing some issues, and he ended up in the system, and we lost track of him from there. We received a letter in the mail, and so we made contact with Family Finding, and when she said which child it was,
it was kind of emotional because they were a part of our lives when they were very young, and then were ripped out. It had been 11 years. So now he's transitioning out of
he was
needing help in his education and transferring now into public school and doing very well at the same time.
There was one caseworker, and then there was Amy from Family Finding who went to bat for him.
You guys envision these kids as being kids and hopefully one day being a normal, productive citizen.
We would just like to say thank you very much to Family Finding. You have changed our lives, and you've changed the life of a kid who would not have had the opportunity had it not been for Family Finding and the persistence of their staff pushing and pushing to get the results that we're so happy to have today. He said, for Christmas, the best thing that you could ever give me is to adopt me. I don't need any other presents. If you could just adopt me, that's all I need.
Well, I am Darius's maternal grandmother. My daughter is his mother, and his father, Devon, is at Nebraska State Penitentiary, and his mother is at York Correctional Center for Women. You know, it's really important for him to maintain a relationship with both of his parents, even given the situation with their absence. Darius can become very sad thinking about not having his mom and his dad. And I can kind of tell when it gets close to visits with both of them, because he gets really excited to see them. And after a visit, then the sadness kind of wears off. And I'll kind of see it come back in 2 or 3 weeks before another visit. Right. You know, I was not really familiar with Christian Heritage before I was introduced to them through Devon. Once I met Miss Danielle that takes Darius, I felt completely confident with Darius going to see his father and talking to Devon. I noticed the different parenting changes in him. I couldn't imagine without this program. Darius, like I said, was an infant when Devon was incarcerated, and there would truly be no relationship. Darius would not know who his father is. He sees him on a monthly basis now. Devon calls him on a daily basis. So they have maintained a relationship for the last 3 years because of this program. When Devon calls every day, sometimes Darius, you know, is in the middle of playing or watching a movie or something, and he always will stop everything and go to the phone, talk to his dad. You know, Christian Heritage has impacted not only Devon and Darius's life, but my whole family's as well. It's really powerful to have somebody come in and care about my grandson and Devon, who hasn't been given many chances. And for somebody to come in and say, you're worth it, you know, here's your opportunity. Let's, you know, create a relationship between you two. And to give him those opportunities and different things in the program, that the classes he took, and has guided him how to be a better parent and how to maintain a relationship. And it's just been wonderful.
What is your favorite part when you go visit Daddy?
I make the paper airplane.
You make paper airplanes?